doors remain open to trading A.J. Brown, with the Patriots emerging as the clear frontrunner in trade discussions for the star receiver. Here is Shefty earlier today on Get Up.
The two sides are tracking to make a deal happen post-June 1st. So that is the situation between the Patriots and the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles. The two sides have not committed to a deal, but they are likely to make that happen post June 1. A.J. Brown would like to be traded. The Philadelphia Eagles are open to trading him. The New England Patriots have wanted him all along.
Dan Orlovsky is back here with us on First Take. I will remind everyone the Patriots were in the Super Bowl last year against the Seattle Seahawks and now potentially could be adding A.J. Brown. How scary would this team be with him?
I think it gives them a top 3 wide receiver core in the conference. And given what we saw to Drake May last year, which was an MVP caliber season, we only expect him to continue to take another step forward. I think this offensive line will be an improved offensive line, and they're a very well-coached football team. So am I ready to sit here and say that I expect him to? No. We know the schedule played its part. We know that New England was not where they should have been. They kind of outplayed or overshot their skis, essentially. And so it's going to be a very good football team, but I think it'll be a much more complete team that now AJ, if the trade happens, and I believe it will, they signed Romeo Doubs from Green Bay. Kayshon Boutte took a huge step forward. They still have Kyle Williams and Pop Douglas. This is a really good wide receiver core. I'd probably put a top 3 in the conference. So it's a very, very good football team. Fully expect them to be a playoff team.
I want to remind everyone, too, Stephon Diggs, who led the team in receiving yards, is no longer on the Patriots. Go ahead, Stephen A.
Yeah, but Kayshon Boutte is there along with Mac Hollins, so we like that part. And then you also have to look at it from the standpoint that A.J. Brown added to that squad, to that unit, would definitely be a significant upgrade. Not but love for Stephon Diggs, but he's not A.J. Brown, so we got to get that out the way. I love the fact that Dan pointed out how you expect them to be a playoff team, but you're not saying they would get to the Super Bowl. But what he left out was the reason we feel that way is because we don't know if they would have made the Super Bowl if Bo Nix hadn't gone down at the end of the divisional playoff game and was available to them for the AFC Championship game instead of them having to rely on Jarrett Stidham, okay, whose wife looked like, that white mink coat, I can't get over that. She was fly as hell in that white mink coat. She looked like the wife of a starting quarterback right there. And obviously, Jarrett Stidham was starting in the AFC Championship game. So I got to give credit. It was just beautiful. She flossed the way you supposed to floss when your husband is starting for the AFC Championship game. You'd have never knew he was a backup. You'd have never knew it. So I give credit where credit is due. Major, major props to her. You understand? But the bottom line is this. We didn't expect him to do much, and he didn't, meaning Jarrett Stidham. If Bo Nix had been up in there, chances are Denver would have won that game. And so we're looking at it from that standpoint, recognizing what the New England Patriots are not as opposed to what they are. A.J. Brown would definitely be an upgrade. Obviously, Drake May can ball. You got some sidekicks in the offensive or the wide receiver unit. That would definitely help, like I pointed out. In the end, New England definitely would be a playoff team. We'd see where they'd go from there. If you can get A.J. Brown, you obviously go ahead and do it, which they seem hell-bent on doing. And this seems inevitable that it's going to happen. So it is what it is. The Pats would be scary because they'd get to the playoffs. They could score on you. They're rough defensively. So they're not going to bow down to anybody. I think all of those things will work well for them. But it'll be interesting to see what happens between them and the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. I think we need to keep our minds on that before thinking about what the New England Patriots are going to do throughout the AFC come playoff time. Let's see what they're going to do in the AFC East because Buffalo is not going away.
Yeah, AFC is going to be more wide open this year than it was last year. That's one of the stories that happened last year was how wide open the AFC became. We talked about the potential of no Josh, no Lamar, no Joe, no Patrick in the playoffs, 3 out of the 4 missing the playoffs. Baltimore, everything's new. There's still some holes on their team, and they don't have Max Crosby. We'll see how together Cincinnati gets. Buffalo, there's still some new. Joe Brady, while being in the building, now in a new role. The addition of DJ Moore. How does C.J. Stroud respond after a lackluster performance in the AFC playoffs for Houston? Does Tennessee take a step forward? What's Kansas City without Patrick if he has to miss some time early on? And there's a roster that has some holes. So I think the AFC is a very wide open conference. indifferent to the NFC that we know kind of the top 3 or 4 heavy teams. AFC is going to be wide open. I would fully expect New England to be very much so in the playoff race.
Okay, let's go to a quick take now because the NFL draft is 3 days away. Dan, as you look ahead, what is one thing you want to see on day one?
Yeah, I want to see somebody make an aggressive move for Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson. You know, a month ago I was really high on Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana and Mekhi Lemon from USC, and I still am. But after restudying these guys' tape, this young man reminds me of Odell Beckham Jr. His unique ball skills when he bounces off the ground in the air, the way he tracks the football, it feels like he's levitating. Some of the circus catches that he made, talent-wise, I do not believe there is the debate that this young man is the most talented receiver in this draft. Yes, there is injury history, but when it comes to acquiring talent, which is what the draft is, I think we've gone into this draft thinking Jeremiah Love was the only offensive, dynamic playmaker outside the quarterbacks, because quarterbacks are what they are. This young man is in that conversation. I think there's 2 difference-making offensive players in this draft. I think Jordan Tyson was one of them. He reminds me of OBJ.
Okay, obviously this is a very wide receiver heavy draft. Stephen A., go ahead.
Brother's got skills, no doubt about that. I don't blame Dan for saying what he's saying, even though Odell Beckham Jr. might be a little bit too far, a little bit too hyperbolic, but I'm not sure. Here's what my issue is. Injuries with this guy. If you don't have durability on a collegiate level, I'm fearful you're not going to have it on the pro level. And that's my concern, Dan, personally. I don't want to say that too much because I don't want to be unfair to the kid. And I certainly am wishing him nothing but the best. I want him to have a great career and stuff like that. I'm just saying that if durability is a question collegiately, it's going to be a question mark on the NFL level. So in terms of what I want to see, Dan, what I want to see the Steelers draft Ty Simpson. That's what I want to see. You have gotten me high on Ty Simpson. I mean, I interviewed the kid too. I watched him play this year. See them lost some games at the tail end of the season. They weren't ready for Georgia for the SEC championship game. They certainly wasn't ready for Indiana in the college football playoffs. But I know the brother can play. And I think the Steelers so desperately need somebody we could look at and say, this is the future of the franchise. Anybody from the quarterback spot that has the potential to have that said about them, if they land at number 21 with the Steelers, I want the Steelers to take them rather than waiting for Aaron Rodgers approaching age 43 to let the world know that he's going to play this season.
You guys know how I feel about Ty Simpson. He's the first round.
Yes, we know how you feel about Ty Simpson, and that is someone that seems to be climbing up everyone's draft boards. We'll see where he lands. Obviously, the Steelers don't know yet what they're going to do with the quarterback situation. However, I will say Aaron Rodgers said earlier on Pat McAfee he had not been offered a contract just yet to play quarterback for them next year. Coming up, orange and blue skies after a strong game 1 for the New York Knicks. Was it the performance good enough to hear Stephen A. sing this song? Or convince Wendy that maybe the Knicks have a finals run in them? Plus, with Steph and the Warriors eliminated over the weekend, is now a time for a change. For Dub Nation, strong sound from head coach Steve Kerr. You got to stay to hear what he said. Keep it locked.